Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Dope Toys NY back again. Another video. Mixed bag this time. I got a diorama as well as some events. I went to New York Comic Con. I'll give you some coverage of that. But before we even really hop into it, I want to give some thanks. First to my boy Tech Chucker, who featured me on his This Week in Dioramas. Not only was I featured, but he gave me the thumbnail for the episode, and I was fortunate enough to have the fan vote, so I did win the contest that he's holding every week. Head over there and check out Tech Chucker. Also wanted to give a shout out to Life with Brock because the same week I made This Week in Customs. So I did both a diorama and a custom and had them both featured. Very fortunate, very thankful for those guys. And then lastly, I was also featured on the Geek Out Show this week, which is a podcast run by my boys Seth and Gil. Um, Go check them out on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Check out for my episode. It was definitely an honor, and I thank you guys. So I'll start out this week with some hauls for since my last video. Not what I usually do, but I'll let you guys check out some stuff. This is a Daredevil symbiote custom by my boy Pounds. Also has a YouTube. I'll link him down below. Grab the Thrasher suit Batman. DC Collectibles, I believe. Cool figure. My boy MCU Collector, shout out to him, hooked me up with Mysterio finally, and as well as this little care package with the carbonized Mandalorian, Mezco Hella, and the regular Mandalorian. Shout out to MCU Collector. I'll link him below too. I grabbed the Figma Guts armor, skull armor version, I think it's called. And then also I was lucky enough to win a couple raffles. I'm waiting on the package now from my boy Hector Torres. I won two big raffles, so I got all these legends here, as well as the ones coming up. So I did a bunch. It was a winner takes all on both, so I did get a bunch of these legends. Pretty much catching me up on all the stuff that just dropped. And then shout out to Supreme Collector for this last haul, as well as GameStop. Scorpion and the MP are through Supreme Collector, Brandon Wong. And then the others I grabbed at my local GameStop. And then I also was on a cruise last week to Canada and was able to stop by a Toys R Us, which is totally awesome. Uh, Nostalgic feeling to even be in the place. They were playing the Toys R Us song. It was great. And then these are some of the things these are just, I'll show you off. They were stacked on top of just being in Toys R Us. They had a bunch of Transformers, Legends. They even had Marvel Selects. Great stuff. It was just great to be in a Toys R Us again. Masterpiece Transformers. I was able to grab this refractor from the Siege line all in one box. I haven't seen that over here stateside. It's coming up now, but I did grab that, as well as a couple other little things, more novelty stuff on the Canadian trip. This is the refractor I was talking about. Came in the 3-pack. And then there you go. Those are a couple of things I picked up just on the trip. Not for everybody, but I love oddities and different figures like this. And then I was lucky enough to return to a package. The Gomez was a raffle win from Rick Valdez, and the Iron Man Hall of Armor was from Amazon, as well as the Venomverse. And then I had given my ticket to a friend, Nomad 9669, and he was able to pick me up these from Comic Con because I was still on my cruise the first few days of Comic Con. And he was able to pick me up the Mezco exclusives as well as the Smoke. So thanks to Nomad for that. And then on Sunday, I was able to go to Comic Con myself, and this is a bit of what I got. Here's my comic haul. Slowly getting back into reading some comics, and this is what I grabbed there. Few key issues, modern key issues, and the Chris Claremont Spawn 300 is signed, which is pretty cool. And then this was the haul, my toy haul for Comic Con, going myself as opposed to the stuff that Nomad picked up for me. I mean, this is the more common toy, not common, but standard toys, I guess you would say. And these are like my designer art toys that I'm into, bootlegs, whatever you would prefer to call them. And then now I'll just give you some coverage from Comic Con. There'll be a mix of pictures and video. I thought this first piece was hilarious. It's a Ron English piece, the Abraham Obama. And this was a Thousand Toys booth. Those Ghostface statues are killer. I really want one, but I just don't have the $300 to spend on it. The Sean Price was dope too. That was my first time seeing that one. And another colorway of the Ghostface. These, I forget who makes these, but these were all pretty cool. That Venom is a pretty cool figure, or statue. And then these are the Thousand Toys 1/6 scale Storm Shadow. That's that Sean Price again. And then this year, Hasbro usually doesn't show up, but they did have some representation this year, and they were showing off the Pulse Unicron. Looks really good in person. Not that I regret not backing it, but I think it's dope. And for those of you that did, you're in for a treat because this thing looks really good. And over to the NECA booth. They shared a booth with Kid Robot this year. They're usually not there either. Some of their turtle stuff, which is really cool. And I think I'll be picking most of these up. The Super 7 turtles are great as well, but I'm not going to find myself buying turtles from all these different companies. I'll just hope NECA does all the ones that I'm interested in. But that's the diorama from San Diego Comic Con. The 2-packs that are coming up. The 2-pack. They're redoing the 2-packs with just turtles. That's just a still picture of what you just saw. And then I'll show just some of their horror stuff, the gremlins and what have you, from the other side of their booth. The Christmas gremlins. I think they had the ski mask one, if I'm not mistaken. Cool stuff. NECA does a great job. That's, I believe, Maestro from World of Champions, the Marvel game. Huge statue of him. You can see the people in scale. It was pretty dope. Oh, and this coming up was the Eagle Moss. I guess it's kind of a build a vehicle. It's a subscription service. Very cool, but very expensive. It's about $40 a month, and they said you need, I want to say 24 months worth of parts. So I think it comes out to about $800 or maybe more than that. And then coming into the sideshow stuff, not really my thing. I'm not a huge 1/6 scale guy, but this Stan Lee looked friggin' awesome in person. Has me kind of regretting that I didn't order this one, but it's whatever. And then this Pennywise too. This thing looks excellent. Like if you've never seen one in person, it's hard to explain. But having them in hand, they're just spectacular. And this is a prime example. Neon Tech Iron Man that's coming. I think this is the third one they're doing. I'm semi-interested, but I still, again, don't think I'll be picking this one up. And then into some Star Wars stuff. That's the new Sith Trooper and the new version of the Snow Troopers. They have it looks pretty cool with that white cloak. And then Commander Rex. And then I believe the other one is just a clone trooper. And then on the other side, they had some stuff from The Mandalorian, which also looked excellent. This one I actually am kind of interested in, but I don't know that I'll be investing. And that's the IG-11 with them, I believe. I don't think that's the 88. I think that's the one from the Mando show. These are cool. It's just something different. Also in the sideshow booth. I'd never seen them before, but stylized mini statues, it looks like. Pretty cool stuff. So as you imagine, it's super hard to get video. Very, very crowded. But this is most of the Marvel stuff that they showed in one video. That Far From Home figure looks great. That base is dope. The Mysterio also looks excellent. I think I got a close-up of that. Really good looking. And then I think I went over to yeah, this is the Tamashi Nation stuff. These are the movie realizations. The that uh, mall looks really cool. The Kylo looks cool. I didn't notice where they had the new IG one because I seen pictures of it, but I didn't see it in person, so I don't have anything of that. And on the figure arts front, I'm not huge on Marvel stuff. I mean, the Iron Man I do, but I will be getting this figure. It looks excellent. I had passed on the Legends, so this one is even cooler. Some figure arts, Street Fighter stuff. In on this line, all in on this line. The Sagat, I did get the Storm, so I don't know that I'll be getting that one, but it looks great. The Bison one, they didn't have an announcement. It said for display only, so I don't know if that meant that they don't plan on releasing it, but we'll see. Looks good. I also have the Bison from Storm though, so I'll probably pass. And these were just like some Star Wars model kits. They're cool. They're very cool. I built a couple of them. I built a figure and I built a vehicle. Both dope. They look great. The saber on that Kylo was pretty cool. And these are model kits also Toy Story stuff. They look really cool. Don't know that I'll be copying, but cool stuff. And then everybody's favorite Mezco stuff. I know you guys have seen better footage and better pictures than these, but just to go through the stuff, that was the Wonder Woman that they had revealed and put up for pre-order during the show. I did get in on that pre-order. Uh, as everybody's heard, the 2-pack sold out. Gomez also sold out first day. And then they had a couple cases that were dedicated just to Gomez. Uh, I believe most of this posing, if not all of it, was done by D Amazing. You can see this in the difference. I mean, the difference between this and the static poses that Mezco does themselves. He does excellent work. I was actually fortunate enough to meet him on Sunday at Comic Con. Great dude, very humble, uh, cares about the community. He gets a lot of shit for no reason. That sucks, but really cool dude in person. Uh, Shadow Gomez, the Shadow Assassin Gomez. I did inquire at the booth if we would be getting a Shadow Assassin, possible recolor or anything in the States, and unfortunately, I was told flat out probably not. I don't know how true it is. You know, they could just say it and do it anyway. It seems like the community wants it, so we'll see. But from what I was told, it's not happening. And then some upcoming stuff in the case. The Pennywise, really cool figure. I don't have this one pre-ordered, but I probably should have. It looks great. The Freddy Krueger as well. I have all their other horror stuff. I don't know why I chose to pass on these two figures. Probably because I'll be hoping to get them for less than retail. John Wick with his dog looked really cool. I couldn't tell. Everybody wants to know about the elbows. I don't really know. Speaking of elbows, though, this Conan figure looks like it has some sort of new articulation on the elbows. Looks like a single joint that could possibly get a wider range than what we're used to. This Morbius looked cool. Uh, Not the biggest fan of the character, but I will be getting it just because I think it's a great figure and I love the company. And everybody try to shit on the Iron Fist. I think it looks good. I don't care what anyone says. Obviously, the adding the belt helped a lot. It looks good. I'll be getting that one too. And then this one as well. The Gambit looked fantastic. Not much to say. You can see for yourself, and I hope you agree because there's no two ways about it. It looks great. The all-white Moon Knight, which I was waiting for. I did not get the black suit version, but I will be getting the all-white. This Ghost Rider looks pretty dope. Um, and the Batman Supreme Knight also pretty cool. I think I already pre-ordered him. Dope figure. Can't wait to get him. And the Harley as well. I have her pre-ordered. And then some of the other DC stuff they showed off. The Mr. Freeze. That's the classic Wonder Woman. No, that's the other Wonder Woman they showed. The Aquaman. I'll be getting that one as well. Uh, That's the Supreme Knight also, I believe. Oh no, that's the 2-pack that the exclusive that they offered with Black Mask. There's the Harley you just saw. And then we'll get into the diorama that they had set up. Like I was saying earlier, The Amazing did all these poses, so they look great. Crashbox Customs did the diorama. I don't believe it's foam. I think it's a MDF board. He uses a CNC machine, which, hopefully one day I'll be able to get into one of those myself. But great work. And then the Marvel side of things. Far From Home Spider-Man, that was your Captain Marvel that we just passed. White Moon Knight again that we just saw. The Ghost Rider. I think we showed these off in pictures. And then the Cable I didn't show. But down here is the other side of the diorama, the Marvel side. Same situation. Also Crashbox Customs, Dio. Cool stuff. It looked great. I didn't realize this video was sideways, but you've seen it a million times already. I'm late. This isn't really reporting of any news, but this was just more my experience, if anything. And then here, this was hilarious. The Incapable Trump, no explanation needed. And then lastly, I think this is a company called, I think they're called XM Studios. They make statues. Not what I collect, but look how cool this is. This is just phenomenal. Ugh, that thing is perfect. A lot of these were cool. The Batman Hush, this one was pretty cool, and this one was even cooler. I'm more familiar with the Hush storyline, but I think this is called Blood Rain, or I forget what the other one was called. You'll see. Oh, Bloodstorm. Uh, I'm not familiar with this at all, but how cool is that? I mean, there is no denying good work. Man, that's cool. And then I'll show the Harley and the Joker that was cool, as well as the Deathstroke. And then here we're going to get into the diorama portion of the video. This is for my boy Andrew Hanzo, OBM. This is his instructional video, I guess you would call it.
What up, y'all? So here's the main event. Like I probably said in the intro, this is from my boy Andrew. Contacted me. He wanted a little bit of a smaller diorama. It's not tiny, but it's a really good size. For what he wants, he just wanted to be able to put, he specifically had Mythic Legions in mind. So he said he just wanted to be able to put 3 or 4 figures. This is perfect for that. So I'll start here, real simple, with the base. There we go. This is just the base. It's a mixture of pink foam or pink 1-inch foam. For the ledge, I used a bit of wooden trim. I think that came out of Home Depot. And then for texture, I've got a bunch of different kind of actual rocks and sand. There was sand down when I blackwashed everything for some of it, and then some sand sprinkled on top, as you can see throughout the texture. And then basic craft store acrylic paint. That's a question I'm getting a lot. People are asking about should they invest in good paints and whatnot. Not necessary. Let me grab a bottle real quick. This is my favorite stuff right here. This brand, this is out of Michael's. This is their crafts brand. Craft Smart. Get the cheap stuff. Custom figures, you might want to use good paint, but with this stuff, the 69, 79 cent a bottle stuff is good enough. So let's get to start the building to put this together. We'll start with our back wall. And I guess I can start explaining where the whole idea came from. I had come across this piece a while back on ThinkGeek when it was on clearance, and you can't get it anymore unless you're willing to spend a little bit of money. And I was actually saving this for a diorama of my own, but I haven't got to it yet. I don't have the room yet, and I had 3 of these, but once Andrew mentioned that he wanted to do a Mythic Legions theme, I decided to give him one and donate this to his dio. What this is, it's called a Infinity Corridor. And let me see, I'm not sure how great this is going to come across on camera. It should work, but turning it on, you get that just that, an Infinity Corridor look. So I incorporated this into the design, built around it. So this is how you're going to assemble this. I had to modify it a little so it fits in, but Once we're in, everything just slides into place. The only thing you want to make sure in this case, where I'm struggling a little bit right here, you want to have it pressed as far in on both sides as you can. There we go. Now it's in place. And then this will form our back wall. Actually, I'm not going to be able to put that in yet. So you got a step and a ledge here, and the reason this is separate will become a little more clear later. But here's the final step. This magnetizes on, pops in place just like that. Now we'll have a full set of stairs. Everything fits in, magnetizes into place. Make sure this is all pushed forward, like I said. All right, so that's that. That's your back wall. And originally we decided to keep costs down. We were gonna do a corner piece, but Andrew's my boy, so I went a little extra mile for the cost we had agreed on. This is kind of the setup that he had asked for originally, and I threw this in for him. Just a half wall, just to throw it off a little. So that's set up a, that's the basics. All right, now I have a lot of accessories that go with this thing. We'll get into those. I made up these custom, they're leather wrapped 2 swords. These are gonna mount on the wall here. What makes these special is he could also include Mythic Legion shields, and these pop into place. Both sizes, there's a hole for each size. Put this one. There we go. And then you can insert these into the wall. That's one nice little accessory feature. You can pop that on for now. Beyond that, let's see. Okay, so here's the thing I came across. This is a really cool display idea, but toy photography, which I'm assuming Andrew might do some of with this, it's actually a mirror there, so the photography is not going to come out great. If he wants to just take a simple picture, he has this he can pop in. I made a nice little door for him. Pop that right in. Now he doesn't have to worry about having to cover his back end because there's a mirror. And for now we can pop that back out. And also I'm gonna, as far as that goes, I'm also gonna include this template for you, Andrew. So the other thing I was thinking, any kind of card stock image you can get, or just people use those colored foam backgrounds, you could just trace this template onto it, cut it, and then it should fit in there pretty good. And that'll give you a different background there. So that's another option. Let's see where we go from there. I think we can move into his second setup with this diorama. Oh no, I'll just throw this on real quick just so you see. On top of the other half wall, he gets a little bit of a roof section here to kind of close things off, create some shadowing and stuff like that. So that's another little option that I don't know if he was expecting, but I decided to do. Let me see if that's even coming on camera. Yep, you can see the top. It's just dirt on the bottom and stone on the top. This can support a Mythic Legion. It's not the strongest connection. Everything here is magnetized. It's magnetized throughout. So, it's got enough strength probably to support a figure. Let me grab something close. Mythic Legion is probably a little heavier than this Gomez, but it works out. Let's pop that back off for a second. And like I said, we'll go into the other setup for this. I wanted to give my man a little variety also, like I said, with this, not to just have that one piece. So he's able to pop the stair out, pop on a couple pieces, 1, 2. Clean this, this piece goes in this way. Clean this up a little bit. And then have a bit of an altar type exit. You still got these magnets on the floor, but you could get those out of photography, no problem. And then the bigger accessory is this weapons rack that he had requested. Let me cut frame for this real quick. Alright, so I don't know how many people watching this video collect Mythic Legions, but I mean, it's not, this isn't a complaint, but it's kind of a gift and a curse, but these things come stacked with accessories. So just an idea here, these are probably, you know, you would end up with an extra pile of like this on top of the accessories your figure is actually using very quickly. This is probably maybe a quarter, probably not even a quarter of just my extra accessories on top of what my figures are displayed with. So Andrew has this problem, and he's asked me to come up with some sort of a weapon rack for him. Immediately the old He-Man rack came to mind, so I guess this is sort of kind of based on that, but it's my own take, a little more realistic, or, you know. I came up with this weapons rack for him. It's all made of basswood and balsa wood, and some ropes and tiny twine, and just use a burn effect to give it that weathered look. It's also, there's some epoxy sculpt that I tried to paint and stuff. But let's get into what this can store. You know, I probably got 10 swords here, 3 axes, a big hammer. So like I told him, it's not going to store all of your weapons by any means, but it's kind of a cool way to display and slash store whatever fits. So let's put all what we have here. I know watching me is probably not the most exciting thing, but you know, I'm sure Andrew's going to appreciate this as just a thrown-in accessory. Let's put the battle axe in the back. Hammer up front. Spears go on the spear rack up top. We've got room for a couple daggers on this side. This part here is sculpted as well and painted. I got some place where you can put some helmets here on the side. That's what they look like. You know, displayed armor as well as weapons. On this side, I designed this for a bow. This is a sheath for arrows, rather. These are the bows, and you can hang these on the side. It's obviously you can mix and match this however you see fit, but this is just the setup that I've been using. Hang those off to the side, and that's that. You got a stacked weapons rack, as well as a cleaned up back walls for now it'll just look like a window. And then again, you can put any kind of poster board or anything back here that you see fit. I believe I've seen you use them before. And close off the roof again. And that's how that works. Oh, and then on top of that, while we're on accessories, I just threw in a couple little rock formations, little miniature ones, so they're all foam. This one's a little different. It's got a bow and arrow kind of built in. Lay that wherever you choose. Oh no, I've got this accessory as well. I didn't show these. So while this is like this, I made some pillars for you. The ones that were plastic static dio, everybody was loving them, so I tried to, you know, just mix it up into a stone colored pillar. This side fits into here. This one's, you can put those any way you see fit. So yeah, just some rock. Oh, and this one's a little different. This has one of the 3D printed skulls that I had laying around in my stash. There's a few of those. What do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Thought there was a 5th one that probably is somewhere. It might have fallen, and I'll send that to you. But yeah, that'll add some spice to the thing. You can put these anywhere in the thing that you want. Could be part of the ceiling, part of the stone that's fallen. All right, so that's it. Andrew, you're the customer. Hope you enjoy this. The people watching this on my YouTube as well, I hope that I get a lot of positive feedback, and it's, you know, I'm starting to post a little more now just because it inspires me to read the comments, and I like the questions I get about how to build dios and stuff. It's all fun. And I hope you guys enjoy the content. See you next time. Like, comment, subscribe, and tell any friends that you want to that you think might find this interesting. Later.
Then I like to throw in just some of the process. This was a very rough mock-up from the first idea that I had. So I would be sending these to Andrew throughout the process of the build. Here is, I guess, I had just cut up the back foam and figured out how I was going to fit the doorway in. Andrew had asked if any kind of a throne would fit up there, and that was pretty much the only one I had that I can show. But it kind of works, sort of. And then This was during the black, or some of the black wash I'd gotten done, but the texturing was there already. I glued down some sand and a couple rocks before I even started the paint job. And then this would be once I dry brushed the paint into the stone that was there already. And this was the weapons rack when it was first started, just plain wood. It was glued together at that point, just a mock up. And here's some of the sculpting that I had put into it. My sculpt work is terrible, still learning. I'm sure I'll get better one day. Um, and then you saw what that came out. I'll have pictures of that later, the finished product. And then this was, I guess, I was about 90% done here. Just I had to add details to finish it off. But that was just a progress pic that had gone out to Andrew. And then this was when I decided to do the door. This was last minute. This was like a couple days ago before I had mailed it. He should be getting this package today or tomorrow, actually. So, again, Andrew, I hope you enjoy this. And then I guess these look like they're kind of finished. Yeah, this looks like I guess this is what I had showed him when it was all done through Facebook Messenger. Uh, Damn, looks like I should have cleaned the mirror. But you can handle that, tough guy. And then this is just with some different lighting, just to add some mood to it. With the weapon rack set up and the window set up and a backdrop. And I guess this would be your clear as day video of the final product of the weapons rack more so. And then with a figure in there just for scale and size purposes. There's plenty of room to adjust and add different figures and different setups in there. I think you're going to enjoy it. Different figure up there. And then these last couple of shots were just like toy photography setups that I did. So to get the mirror, I just put a black foam board next to where I was shooting, and I used the angle so I didn't get any reflection on the mirror. And then this one's with the doorway. And then these last two are just different setups with different figures, shots that I took. Pretty cool stuff. I hope you enjoy, Andrew, and everybody that watched. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Thanks again. Later.